and welcome to my kitchen, and today is pizza day and I'm going to share with you a little bit of an updated version of my classic go-to pizza crust recipe. I uploaded a version of my pizza crust over a year ago. It's January of 2013, but I've changed it just a little bit and it makes a big difference, so I wanted to share it with you. And I'm also going to be doing a big batch version. That's what today is, a big batch version of that classic go-to pizza crust that I do. And it's really easy, it's really delicious, and you can make a lot of different things with it. So let's go see how I do this. We're going to get started. What I have in my bowl is 3 cups of warm water, to which I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of yeast. This is instant yeast. If you use active dry yeast, you're going to need to proof it first. And that just means that after you put the sugar in it, you're going to give it a stir and you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. That's it. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. You can use honey. You can use whatever you like. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I'm going to use 6 cups of all-purpose flour. I need one of those measuring cups, honey. Please. Thank you. Just try and use a good quality all-purpose flour. Oops. 1, 2, and 6. And then I add my salt on top. And I'm going to use a tablespoon of salt. Now, I know I measured the oil in there, but oh well. We're going to throw that in the dishwasher anyway. Alright, now this goes onto the mixer, or you knead it by hand, first stirring with your hands, and then gathering the dough all together and kneading it on your board for about 10 minutes. But since I'm using my mixer with the dough hook attachment, I'm going to put this on there when the dough comes together. I'm going to allow it to knead for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, our dough is done. It's fully kneaded, and this dough is a little bit on the sticky side, so don't be worried about that. Just get it into a nice mass. I have oiled my bowl with a little olive oil, and I'm just going to give it a squirt here, and I'm just going to turn it and get it coated on all sides. And I'm going to put a bonnet on my bowl, and I'm going to allow this to sit for about 20 minutes. You don't need to let this rise for a whole hour, but if you have something to do and you want to make this, go ahead and let it sit. During the first rise, you really can let it go a little bit longer. If you have something to do that is pressing, you can go ahead and just put a lid on this, or, you know, a cover, and then go do what you need to do. If you think you're going to be longer than that, pop it in the fridge. It'll still rise. It'll be fine. Now, if you want to freeze this dough for later, like let's say I'm only going to use half of this tonight. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to divide this in half, and I'm going to flash freeze the piece that I'm not going to use right away. I'm going to put it in a plastic bag. I'm going to put it on a baking sheet inside my freezer, and then when it's frozen, I'm going to take it back out and I'm going to mark it appropriately and put it in a freezer bag, and then save it for later. When I want to use it again, I'm going to remove it from the freezer, allow it to thaw on the counter, and then I can use it when it's completely thawed out, and then just do a second rise on it. But right now we're going to let this sit for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what it looks like. Hey, we've had this sitting for a little over 20 minutes. I've been doing other things. See, that's the beautiful part about this, is if it sits a little longer, it's no big deal. I'm just going to deflate it gently. I'm going to pull it out onto my board. And then what we have to do is we have to divide this up. So I got out my scale, and I put a plate on it. I'm going to tare weight it. I'm going to weigh the whole mass, which is 3 pounds, 15.5 ounces. So I want to divide this into 4. And then I'm actually going to be using half. I would divide it into 4 if I were going to make pizzas out of this, but I'm going to divide it in half. I'm going to make 2 pizzas, and I'm going to make some cinnamon breadsticks to go for dessert or for breakfast or whatever we're going to use them for. So that's what we're going to use this for. But that is how you make my upgraded version of pizza dough. I really enjoy it this way. It gives you a nice chewy crust, and depending on how you make it, if you make it in a pan, it's a little softer. If you make it on your stone, it's nice and crispy. You can spread it out as thick or as thin as you like. You can pull it really thin so it's super crispy. You can make it in a deep skillet like I'm gonna make, and make it like a pan pizza. It's entirely up to you. So I hope that this helps. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you try this pizza dough recipe. I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you liked what you watched today, and I hope that you try it, and I hope that you love it. If you like what you saw, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and giving me a positive rating. And also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber, so that you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here in our kitchen every single day. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Instagram and Google Plus and Blogger. I have a blog over there, and you can take a look at that. You can subscribe to that feed as well. And don't forget that every recipe that you see me do here on YouTube, with the exception of a few earlier ones, you can access all of the recipes over on my website, noreenskitchen.com, where you will find printer-friendly versions of those recipes so you can print them out and keep them for your own. So, I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to come by tomorrow. Until next time, happy eating!